Namaskar Sarni, Myon Navcha Aarav Raina, Butchus Rozan Chicago Smans. I'm 16 years old and attend Conant High School. I hope you guys enjoy the video I've made today for you, and thank you KOA for giving me this opportunity.
Mama,
Yes?
what is Herath?
Go ask Alexa.
Alexa, what is Herath?
Here's something I found on ShareCare. Hair is a non-living body structure composed
Alexa,
primarily of...
stop. Alexa, what is Herath?
Here's something I found on the web. According to slideplayer.com.
Alexa, stop. What do I do now?
Okay, go ask Bobji.
Bobji! 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 Bobji!
क्या दलील?
What is Herath?
Oh, Herat. Valur, badape.
Can you talk in English?
Oh, okay, of course. For a Kashmiri Pandit, Herat is the absolute king of festivals. Imagine Christmas for Americans and then multiply it by 10. That's how important it is. The holiday has immense religious significance as well. In the literal sense, Shivratri means Shiva's night. It marks the night of Lord Shiva's marriage to goddess Parvati. Now the word Herat is derived from the Arabic word Herat, which means a wonder or surprise. And here's the real story behind the name. We all know Kashmir was under Muslim rule for many centuries. Now one of the rulers, called Jabbar, ordered Kashmiri Hindus to perform Shivratri Puja in the summer. Kashmiri Pandits had no other choice, so they decided to celebrate Shivratri in the summer instead of their normal celebrations in late winter. On that summer night, it somehow snowed so heavily in Srinagar, which was nothing less than a wonder considering the season. And that is where we get the word Herat, deriving from the Arabic word Herat. The holiday spanned over a period of 23 days, so celebrations in Kashmir took up close to the entire month. The first 6 days were busy with cleaning in the household after a long winter and preparing for the upcoming festivities. Materials for the puja would also be gathered. Now Mahashivratri always falls on the darkest night of the year, according to the lunar calendar. That was the biggest day of the festival, and the Shivratri Puja itself was the most important part of the celebrations. It is popularly known as Vatak Puja. The name can be traced to the term Vatak Dev, or Lord Shiva's celibate form. Now before the start of the puja, two large vessels representing Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati are embellished with flower garlands and filled with walnuts to the top. A red thread known as nirvan is tied around the mouths of these utensils, and the symbol of Om is also drawn on them. Along with this, several small pots represent other deities, and they are covered with a super fine sheet of silver known as Vatak to give them a festive look. Now let me show you a video so you can understand better. Torya fikri ven?
Anmara. Thank you, Bobji. Can I watch TV now?
Öş karit. Bama banavak video? Varya shur hekin vachit. The worship begins with the invocation of Lord Ganesha, along with purifying vessels of other deities. During the puja, the nirvan is tied around the wrists of every member of the family. Homam is also an important part of the ritual. It is the process of invoking a sacred fire with the intentions of setting peace. The fire is a symbol of God. People offer grains, ghee, herbs, and many other sacred things as symbolic offerings to God. The ritual concludes with blowing conches as the entire family joins in for an arti. Now Kashmiri Pandits' Mahashivratri is one day before all the other Hindus celebrate their own Shivratri. Let's see what the experts have to say about why that is.
शिवरात्रि जो होती है ये फागुन कृष्ण पक्ष त्रयोदशी को होती है। त्रयोदशी और चतुर्दशी यानी कि कहते हैं जब भगवान शंकर ने लिंग रूप धारण किया है.
The next day after Mahashivratri, Kpis would continue their Shivratri celebrations while many other Hindus had started theirs. This day was extremely important to Kpis as well, though, and was known as Salam. On this day, friends and relatives would be invited over for a lavish spread of meat and fish delicacies, including everyone's favorites, Rogan Josh, Gard, Mutts. It was also the time to invite friends from the Muslim community in Kashmir, and since they would always greet with a salam, the day has come to be known as just that. This was a very busy day, however, as even people who rendered their services to the community, such as barbers, washermen, postmen, electrical men, they would all come to homes to offer their greetings and often receive gifts of cash from the community. This was a small token of appreciation which not only gave these low wage earners financial help, but also gave them a feeling of inclusion in the celebrations, so much so that they would always be eagerly waiting for this time of year to roll around. The final part of this exciting day was Herath Karch, another fun-loving custom of Herath. The day after the puja, the head of the family would offer money to children who would happily accept. The excitement around this traditional practice is immense, and children would sometimes wake up early to wish everyone a Herath Mubarak and then ask for their Shivratri earnings. In the good old days, this money was used to buy new clothes and candies from the market, and sometimes the newlyweds were also gifted cash by the elderly as a part of this practice. Now on the 15th day out of the 23, Dun Mavas, an important ritual, was observed. The day is marked by performing puja near the banks of the river, where emptied vessels are brought for immersion. The soaked walnuts are taken back home and distributed in the family as prashad. Now the main prashad consists of walnuts and tumul tsut. The process of prashad distribution continues on for another week. Now all the functions of the festival are concluded when the flowers and garlands with which the original Vatak was decorated with are carried down to the river bank in the evening to be immersed into the river. Lamps with burning oil wicks are placed on a floating grass called ur and float on the riverbank to symbolize the end of celebrations. Vale Vuchiv kitkancha celebrate karan luk Herat.
رٮ۪تھ برونٛٹھ ٲسۍ لوٗکھ سونٛچان وۄنی ہیرَتھ وۄنی ہیرَتھ وۄنی ہیرَتھ پَتہٕ ییٚلہِ ہیرَتھ ٲسۍ یِوان گَرِ ٲسۍ صفٲیی چھَلان ناجِیَس ٲسۍ ژھانٛڈان کہِ پوٗزا چھِ کَرٕنۍ سٲری گَرِکۍ بٲژ ٲسۍ مَران اِکوَٹہٕ بیٚہان تہٕ پوٗزا کَران اَلگٕے ماحولا اوس مےٚ چھُ مَران ڈیڈ یُس شُپیَن اوس گژھان ماز اَننہِ أسۍ ٲسۍ وَٹکَس ماز تھاوان لُکس ڈِفرَنٹ مگر أسۍ ٲسۍ مَران تی کَران تَمہِ پَتہٕ اوس ہیرَس خرچہٕ میلان ہُپٲرۍ یَپٲرۍ ڈیڈی سٕنٛدۍ فرٛٮ۪نٛڈٕس ٲسۍ یِوان مُسلمان کوٚمنِٹی ہِنٛدۍ اَسہِ گرٛیٖٹ کَرنہٕ خٲطرٕ اَلگٕے فیٖلِنٛگا ٲس یِوان سُہ رٮ۪تھ کِتھ کٔنۍ اوس نیران اِنسانَس مَرا اوس نہٕ پَیی لَگان
ہیرَت دۄہ اوس بَڑٕ ایٚکسایٹمٮ۪نٛٹ آسان ماے گرٛینٛڈ فادَر وُڈ کَنڈَکٹ پوٗجا یۄس اِلیبریٹ ٲس آسان سو اِٹ وُڈ آل بی لُکڈ فاروٲڈ ٹُو بَڑٕ مَزٕ اوس یِوان شُرۍ ٲسۍ سٲری رَلان کَزٕنٕز وَزٕنٕز اَپارِ یَپور کھٮ۪وان چٮ۪وان ٲس پٮ۪ٹھٕ سَلامہِ دۄہ آسان پَتہٕ کالکی اَکھ میلہِ ہیرَت خرٕچ بیٚیہِ اوس فیملی منٛز اَسہِ اَکھ وٕنہِ تہِ چھُ شنکر بھگوان سٕنٛز اَکھ بوٚڑ پوٹرٛیٹ بالک اवस्थایہِ ہُنٛد یُس زَن راتھ کیُتھُے چھِ تَتھ یِوان وٕنہِ تہِ پوٗزا کَرنہٕ اَنہِ گٔٹسٕے منٛز اِٹ اِز اوپنڈ اینڈ آن سَلام نایٹ رادَر ناٹ ڈے اَنہِ گٔٹسٕے منٛز چھُ کھولان تہٕ بنٛد کَران سو we would kind of look forward to these things.
Namaskar. For our Herat celebrations, we set up Vatak Puja. We start by placing pots together that symbolize gods. After setting up, we perform a puja in which we play an audio video that encompasses different prayers. This year, my mother read it from the KOA book. We also prepare special meals such as puris and some meats. I've heard that kids back in Kashmir get Herath Karch, but not anymore. Regardless, Herath is a fun celebration in which we are able to remind ourselves of our beautiful culture.
On Dun Mavas, or the 15th day, the vessels that were filled on Herath are taken to the river for immersion. Before the immersion, the vessels are emptied of the soaked walnuts and brought back home after symbolic puja. On reaching home, the ladies would pretend to shut the main entrance and not allow the head of the family to enter till he promises certain blessings. So this is what happens when the head of the family knocks on the door. Thuk thuk, kus chu, ram ror, kya het, ant het, dan het, to sak het.
So I hope there will be many people who will relate to this. I'm sure they will relate to it. Bye bye.
Clearly, the festival has by far the greatest social and cultural significance amongst Kashmiri Pandits when compared to any other holiday. People would be eagerly waiting just for this time of year to come around, and all family members would assemble together to pray to God as well as to receive the blessings of elders. Daughters of all different ages would often go home to visit their parents to enjoy the festivities together. Prashad would be shared with all neighbors as well as any of your close relations, whether they be family or friends. This helped strengthen the social bonds and gave people a sense of a tight-knit community. While the younger generation was often enjoying themselves during this time, the elders would remain busy with worshipping, while the ladies of the house would get what was considered a massive opportunity for them to showcase their skills in the art of cooking. If there's one thing that looks like it hasn't changed in our culture, it is clearly the emphasis of food. Family members would also indulge in many games, including one played with seashells known as cowries. It is called Hargindun in Kashmiri. On the whole, it was truly a time of celebration and joy within the community, lifting everyone's moods. Hopefully, we can retain that spirit every year when we as a community celebrate Shivratri in the future. This is Aarav Raina, aka Bobji, signing off.